Hey, you there.
How does she do the
little dots in her head?
Yeah.
You want in. You've got to go through me.
Just Decker.
Oh, sorry. We're, lawyers. You don't look like a lawyer. Oh, yeah? Well, that's great. I'm security.
Oh, she's definitely the villain. Look at this face.
I take it back. I don't think she's the villain because I think they want me to think she's the villain, and now I'm not sure.
I don't know. I see this face, and I'm like, that's a face that they're going to use in a trial.
Perhaps.
I mean, I guess every character you meet shows up in the trial because they're economical that way. But she could be a witness, I guess.
And it's my job to make sure the gawkers like you stay out.
So she's the security officer. That's why she has a jumpsuit.
Gawkers? Gawkers, sightseers, tourists. I know the type. You heard about the incident and came to snoop around. Youths today. Something horrible. Oh no, what are you doing?
That's just how she's talking.
Oh man.
She's going so... Yep. She's just in full on, like, yep.
Millennials.
It's her usual
My
speech.
son hasn't called in a long time.
Yep. That was just her whole usual speach, just fucking blamming out. Like she just went off like she always does. She does that every day.
Oh no. Nick, will I grow up to be like her? Please say no.
I don't know, it's possible.
Hey, listen when you're being spoken to, youths today. Millennials.
Well, you talk too fast for us to read your words that you're speaking.
I have a lot to say and no one calls me.
Why would anyone listen to my opinions about
because you
economy?
Say really mean things, Grandma.
The security guard station. That security lady must like junk food. There's a mountain of it in the desk in there. I see the computer that runs the security cameras. An overhead map of the studios. Right from here is the employee area. To the left are the actual film studios. The main entrance to the studio. There was a big scene here yesterday with onlookers pressed up against the gate. They apparently dispersed immediately. Think that there'd still be people trickling in for the murder? I guess time moves fast in this universe.
Well, she scared them all away because she's scary and she yelled at them about being millennials.
Yeah. Looks like a studio van. They probably use it to carry around film equipment. I don't know why.
You made it sound suspicious. Yeah, the way you read that. I was like, what are you implying?
No, I choked. I choked. I'm a lawyer.
What's that? You giving that to me? Am I a lawyer now?
Absolutely not.
I want to be a lawyer now.
I'm just showing you my Indigo badge.
I am the next gym leader.
Yeah. So what do you do here at the studios?
At Global Studios, we make children's dreams come true.
By kicking them out whenever they come here?
In fact, in my younger days.
That pose.
Oh, I do that pose too.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of but you won't tell anyone, will you? Of course not, of course not.
Of course not. She's married, by the way.
Oh yeah, the ring.
I look at that on everyone.
Do you?
Because I'm a fucking creep, yeah. Because I'm a creep. If I go to like a concert or any place where there's attractive people, I instantly like zoom, look at their hand. Because I have to understand if I can flirt with them or not. No, you were a star? That's disappointing. Only a little twinkle between the stars here, I'm afraid, dearie. Wow. This place has really gone downhill, you know. But 10 years ago, now that was a studio of dreams. Hammer was a big star back then too, he was.
Hammer?
The victim, dummy. The evil magistrate. He's been reduced to playing villains now. Not exactly the best material to work with.
I mean, I question the celebrity status of all these people when their entire career is them putting a mask on, making them inherently interchangeable, so that whenever they at any minute they could just fire these actors and replace them with another actor because the costume covers their entire body.
Well, it makes me really wonder.
I imagine that's how the real industry works.
I feel like they're in other. Okay, so I feel like in the U.S. there weren't as many of those shows. Like we had Power Rangers, but even that wasn't an American show originally, right?
Yes, no. Power Rangers is nuts, and it's a whole rabbit hole of really cool weirdness where there was this Japanese show and they decided to bring like a half of it to the United States. And so every scene in the high school in Power Rangers was completely made for the United States audience, and that's like the majority. That's technically the majority of the show. But every time they cut to like it's morphin time, and everyone turns into
the fighting. They put on their outfits, and they're actually played by other people.
Everyone's in their outfits, and everyone's like fighting kaiju in a town. Like it's a completely very weird looking. Like it's like a Japanese city. Like they're fighting and everything because those are all from the original Japanese show that they ported over. So the entire script and characters and whatever's going on in the high school scenes of all the American teenagers has to set up the completely unrelated and also already made fight scenes from the Japanese show that are going to happen regardless. Which is why, like, at one point, Jason gets addicted to pachinko machines because they fight a pachinko monster. It's like one of those moments where they, like, eat your hamburgers.
That is kind of a confusing
jelly donut
premise for a child.
You just have to localize it. It's the only reason I know what a pachinko machine is for, like, the first 20 years of my life is because it was an episode of Power Rangers, because those don't come up. Those don't come up anywhere here, really. But it's a trip. And also, Power Rangers was so successful here that they commissioned more seasons of the other show to keep happening because they needed more of that to keep making more Power Rangers.
So it was more popular here than it was in its, or like where it was originally from?
That's apparently, because apparently the Western Power Rangers commissioned more seasons of the show that they were adapting, so they could keep doing that the same way. It also leaves a really big incongruity where the Ivan Ooze movie that I watched a lot of, the
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, feels
completely different because it's entirely Western. Every single fight scene doesn't have like a style change when they go to it or anything. It's also the reason why the Yellow Ranger has no skirt, but the Pink Ranger has a skirt, is because there was 4 dudes and a girl in the Japanese show, and there's 2 girls and 3 dudes in the American show. And so that's why they have like the whole like kind of like gendered skirt thing on the costume, but only for one of them, is because the Yellow Ranger just is a dude.
I never watched Power Rangers. In fact, the only people I knew who liked Power Rangers were, weirdly enough, like my friend in grade school who lived like down the street, but her and her brother would watch it in Spanish, and she gave me the impression it was also really popular in Mexico, but I wasn't sure.
It might have been.
But like I always wanted to play the Yellow Ranger whenever we all played, because I didn't want to be the girl with the skirt. I wanted to be the one without the skirt.
Exactly.
Because I was like, fuck that.
It was like an accidental thing, like that was like a demographic to appeal to, because I don't think they planned it that way at all.
Well, I think they're just trying to be more diverse.
But that speaks to my point of how much they can benefit from the anonymity of the masks, because like you can just replace the actors and it doesn't matter. And that shows from the fact that like in the one that a lot of us grew up watching, they literally were different actors under the masks, and no one even registered that as kids. It hit peak weird in season 2, Power Rangers Turbo, where the Blue Ranger became this small like 10-year-old child, and he would transform into a full-sized Blue Ranger every time they did the fights. He would just scale up into like a man. But it's because they're like, we can make the show even more popular if we put a kid in the cast, because that's the demographic. That's because like the whole wish fulfillment thing, which I think they never did that again, so it probably wasn't as effective as they hoped it would. But that was the thought process for a lot of kids shows, is put a kid in it. It's a Transformers show. Well, if we want the robots to be popular kids, we'll put a kid in the show with the Transformers. That kind of thing. Makes it more relatable. And there was like a kid. I think there was a kid in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and stuff like that. My point being though is I just think that I think other countries like masked heroes more than we do. And there's like a whole, like, I won't get into it, but there's like a whole like psychology to like
heroes in different countries, as far as like America likes a lot of them to be like faces. Like Superman is like a face. I mean, obviously Batman's like conflicted. He's all dark, and that's why he has like, I don't know, there's like a certain like personal aspect to having like people.
But you still see under his mask, like the majority of his
you
screen
still
time.
See like face, because there's like an individual aspect. But like a lot of other countries like their heroes to almost be like anonymous, because doing anything that is even like, you don't want to be like you don't want to stand out in that way. It's considered like
all of
negative.
Our superheroes
even if
are all about like who's under the mask and stuff like that. And like when they adapted Judge Dredd into a movie with Sylvester Stallone, they couldn't stop taking his mask off. Like he constantly went around with no helmet, when like that's the character design, is to have that visor and helmet on, which Kyle Urban was perfectly happy to keep on in his version.
Sometimes what you're doing is like morally ambiguous, and so that's more like, we like anti-heroes in the US. A lot of other countries don't feel the same way about it. So there's like either being like a complete pristine hero, like being a Superman for another country, is good, or if you are going to be morally ambiguous, wearing a mask is better, because you want to be anonymous, because you are doing something that is like, if you're punching people, you might be morally ambiguous.
We're often so maskless that even strangely like the anti-hero people that would benefit from anonymity and do horrible things often don't wear anything at all, like Punisher.
Well, we like them for it. We like them for it. But it's like usually like a lot of the heroes in other countries are working for their government or their society. It's like our heroes are like, they work for themselves and they have their own interpretation of what justice is. And so they're all like rogue cowboy like anti-heroes who have like vigilante justice, which is like what we like way better. We're like, yeah, that's awesome.
I think it's because masked people are seen, I think they're coded as being untrustworthy.
I think that, well, yeah, I suppose
like if somebody wears a bandana over the lower half of their face, you're like, oh, that's not good. That's not, like, you don't inherently think like that's the hero. The anonymity is because they're a hero.
I think that's illegal. Most places have a legal like precedent against wearing face coverings in public. Besides people that do it for religious purposes, but
I also think it serves a logistical thing of just like, this is a children's show and we want to make a bunch of money and keep it going and so on, and like if any of the actors leave, we can just replace them with somebody else, because it's just they just put the costume on and it's fine.
I just think ever since like Ultraman, they're all like, masked heroes are popular other places more so than in the US, and I've seen so many parodies of Ultraman in other, like even Chibi Robo has like a parody of Ultraman in it. But anyways, I just think that's why it's a thing. And honestly, if a mask shows up in this case, I'll say, oh well, we could have figured out the murder if people weren't wearing masks.
It's all your fault. Well, yeah, both the protagonists wear masks.
Yeah, so if someone shows up...
but the hero and the villain wear masks, so we saw that in the little show.
I just wonder if someone is going to dress up like him and kill the other guy, and they'll say, we saw you do it, but he's like, it wasn't me under the mask. Like, if that'll come up. Here's
an important detail, yeah, she said the security cameras are here. So
show us, old bag.
Is like, is there security footage of the murder?
Show us, old bag.
Did they kill him in full costume?
I can't believe her name's Old Bag. Did she marry a man named Mr. Old Bag?
Yeah, I was waiting for her real name to show up, but I thought that was temporary. But maybe she is Old Bag.
Old Bag.
Miss Old Bag.
Old Bag.
Can you tell me about Mr. Will Powers?
He's not a bad kid, but don't be fooled by his mask. You wouldn't want him on the silver screen without it, believe me. Oh, talking smack about our guy. Little ladies watching will lose their lunch.
Wow. How dare you say these things about Hugh Jackman? National
people think he is really Australia.
Hot. I think they put him on the flag. It's just the Australian flag now. It's just shirtless Hugh Jackman.
Dude, I'm moving to Australia. That's probably why he thought the Steel Samurai was his big chance.
I want you to know that every time she does that on camera, Stephanie does it in real life.
Oh, no one thought he was capable of doing what he did to poor Jack Hammer. We don't know for certain that Will Powers is guilty. Powers? Of course he's guilty. How do I know? I know everything. That's my job.
It's a great character design. I hate her. What kind of person was Jack Hammer?
Oh, what kind of person? Oh, if only you knew. Jack Hammer will live on in many hearts as the ultimate action hero. Oh yeah, she fucking killed him because she wanted, or she wanted like him to be a hero. I don't know, something. She likes him too much.
He's like Kung Fu Elvis.
He was simply dashing in the Dynamite Samurai series.
Should I have heard of that?
I think he's so hot. But there was an accident during filming 5 years ago. He got an unlucky break after that, reduced to playing the villains on a children's program. What's more, I heard they were paying him peanuts. It's enough to make you cry.
But I never cry. I murder. Why are you so certain Mr. Powers is the killer?
I was standing right here yesterday, I was here from 1 in the afternoon to 5 o'clock when they found the body. Now the studio where the murder took place is to the left here. So if you want to go to the studio, you have to pass by me.
You know what I'm imagining she sounds like, kind of? Is the mom from Arrested Development.
Oh, I don't... Yeah, but how does she talk?
It's a lot. It's that particular... Because she's also the mom in Archer and does the same voice. that particular just
she's so fucking funny in Arrested Development. Good. She's such a bad mom. She's terrible. She's a terrible person.
No, she's
like everyone in that show, which is what makes the show so good. Only one person went by here between 1 and 2:30 when the murder took place.
And that person was Mr. Powers?
Yes, I saw him.
But Mr. Powers says he was sleeping in his dressing room.
Oh, I'm sure he would say that. He's no fool. But he was the only one that walked by. He's the killer. You can bet your biscuits on it.
After all, there's only one way into a building. That's how buildings work.
Isn't it about time for you to be heading home?
Especially large studio lots. Only one possible way in.
There's nothing to see here. Move along.
Actually, we're here at Mr. Powers' request.
I thought you were suspicious looking. Show me a letter of request, and maybe I'll let you in. This lady here thinks she owns the place, obviously.
A letter of request?
So we have to go. We have to go talk to what's his face and have him give us one. Can he write one from in jail?
Do we get a? I'm like, do we go to the Wright and Co. and get a form? Nope. Can't talk to her about anything.
Well, I still think you have to.
Doesn't normally make things.
I think even if you got it here, you'd have to have what's his face sign it.
Yeah, I just thought we'd get a form or something first, but guess not. Hello? How was the studio? They all think I did it, don't they?
See, I kind of imagine him sounding like Magilla Gorilla.
What the heck?
Because he's like such a big guy like this.
All I can think of is
or grape.
I'm the best at what I do. What I do isn't very nice.
Who the fuck says that?
Wolverine.
Oh, see it?
I grew up watching the Wolverine cartoon as a kid. I mean, the X-Men cartoon.
I know nothing about X-Men.
At all?
Not really, no. Like I said, superheroes not my bag. And X-Men, just like when I was a kid, when that show was out, I wasn't watching X-Men, I was watching like other shit.
Yeah.
No.
Well, he sounds like that in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, but I don't play.
Whatever that attack is.
Yeah. I think
I can never tell what he's saying.
I think he's pretty good.
He does this weird little flurry attack. I would always play as Wolverine and Gambit as my tag team.
Well, in the one that I'm thinking of, you get 3 people.
Yeah, they started with. I think they started that in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which had like Jill Valentine and Phoenix Wright and
I liked
stranger characters.
Murdoch. He's like the Mighty Bean.
Yeah, but I only ever played the first game, which had like the whole roster was it was like 3 columns.
And you could play play Venom, and he had like a really cool animation where he like took his tongue out.
And some strange characters like Jin, where he just super attacks and his clothes come off. And I don't really understand what you are.
Yeah, I know.
I still don't know what he is or why that happens. But his clothes come off whenever he attacks.
I mean,
like
yeah,
Bayonetta
for ultimate power, duh.
For ultimate power, it's the kill power.
Yeah, proven. No, not at all. Isn't that right, Nick?
Right, not at all. At worst, you're a suspect.
Oh, I like him. He'll push.
Mr. Powers, you aren't hiding anything from me, are you? What? No, I'd never do that. Earlier you said you were sleeping in your dressing room after lunch. Yes, like a baby. But the security lady said she saw you that day. She says she saw you heading towards the scene of the crime. What? That's not possible. I really don't know what to say. I was sleeping, I promise. Mr. Powers, if you want me to help you, you have to tell me the truth. I'm new to this lawyer business and I need every advantage I can get. I know. I'm sorry. Sniff.
Sniff.
Sniff. But I swear to you, at my mama's grave, I was sleeping.
His mom's alive.
Maybe the security lady only thought she saw me. Because she didn't specify. She probably saw the costume.
Yeah.
What does she see? He doesn't seem to be lying. About the security guard at the main gate to the studio. Oh, the security lady?
She's terrible. She called me suspicious looking.
You look suspicious. You look like an exorcist.
She looks adorable.
Yes, actually. She said the same thing to me before. Take off that mask, were her words, I believe. She sucks up to all the bigwigs at the studio. But let her see you stumble once and she'll never let it up to you. Let her never let up on you.
She's got some nerve.
You think you could write up a letter formally requesting my representation? Of course. Powers request. Defense attorney. I just hope this will let me get past that security lady.
I'm sure she'll have another excuse when you get there. She'll be like, actually, I need this to be signed.
This is our next 3 hours.
By the President of the United States.
It's gonna run out our entire 3-day time limit that exists for some reason by us having to do return trips to this stupid lady for like 3 days.
What's that called? It's like a filibuster. She's like gonna filibuster us.
She just that's like number one reason why this entire 3-day thing is stupid. Besides all the other reasons, like you can't prepare and so on. Is that like?
Actually, I can't let you in. That's not signed by Donald Trump.
Like we have so little time on each case that's basically how much time like public attorneys normally have for each case. Like which is why they're famous. That's why they have the reputation of being like questionable in their effectiveness because of how little time they have to spend. But yeah, like in this system, people, especially people know about the time limit, they can just filibuster you on purpose.
You need a search warrant. And a search warrant takes like a week to get.
Yeah. Ma'am, have a look at this. It's a letter of request for Mr. Powers.
Yes, I recognize the bold, childish scrawl.
Wow. Powers request given to the security lady.
Do you think he would entrust his fate to youths of such unreliable appearance? Really?
Really?
Anyway, you may pass. But only left from here, towards the studios. No going to the right. That's the employee area. No one allowed inside, pal, were my instructions. From who?
Oh,
the good detective told me himself.
Yep.
Oh, I wonder who that was.
Yep.
Pal.
No one allowed inside, pal.
Yeah, that's exactly how he would say it too. Hey, Nick.
Huh?
There were maps in the security guard station. Oh no, I said that funny.
Hey, not bad.
Those are 50 cents a piece, thank you.
Oh, I guess that's the face she's gonna make when Louis defeat her later. Jesus Christ.
She's like a fucking hellspawn.
I don't... That's not how breathing works. Why is she flapping her... She's flapping her shoulders.
I want to fly far away from here.
I want to fly away.
Well, time to go, Nick. Here's your dollar, you old bitch. Oh, I guess I only want one. 50 cents.
He's good with customers. Very nice.
Well, she doesn't have to be. She's a fucking security guard. She doesn't have to be good with anyone.
So, on our right, there's going to be 2 different studios past another gate. But to the left is the employee area and dressing room, which seems like where a lot of evidence would be. God damn it, Gumshoe.
Yeah, that's where he was sleeping. So we need to go in there.
Gumshoe, you fucked us.
Gumshoe?
Gumshoe?
Maybe we could trick him later.
Yeah, or just hop a fence.
Oh, look, what the fuck?
Welcome! What? Yeah, what?
That mascot's head is broken.
Yeah. Is that evidence? Or is it just confused? The head took out a tree. How heavy is the head?
Where the fuck was the tree?
Ah.
I'm confused by this visual image.
Are they trying to suggest that Studio 2 is inaccessible because a tree
There's a tree in the way.
A tree fell over 1/3 of the road.
I can't walk around it. It's gonna fucking be that.
So
you know
clearly
that, right?
isn't blocking the path.
Yeah, that's for sure what it is.
Hey. Aren't you that murderer from the other day?
Always. Ah, it's that confused detective.
Hey, pal. You know Prosecutor Edgeworth is all upset and it's your fault. I saw him sipping tea and glaring gloomily out of the window.
I think it's his normal face.
So?
Hey! If he's depressed, it's all your fault for doing sloppy detective work. Oh, we made him say
so many ellipses.
I'm sorry. Detective?
I think you hurt his feelings.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Well, I think his feelings are easily hurt. You're right, pal. It's my fault. I can blame other people all I want, but I know the truth in my heart.
Hey, don't take it so hard. There's always the next case.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. There's always the next case.
Yeah,
Each case determines the fate of a human's life.
I know, and also like, why is
Don't worry, pal, you'll get it next time.
He's just a detective, so he's not like a lawyer. So I don't know why he cares about who wins or not. He's just there to give, to provide evidence.
He should be happy that the truth happened.
Well, I guess he doesn't think that what happened last time was the truth.
Yeah, which also seems to be Edgeworth's stance, even though they confessed.
Well, I think it's
like the murderer confessed again.
They're trying to make all these characters good people, so you as a person playing this game don't resent them.
So they have to be. So they have to
idiots. Think that they're right. Yeah, they just think they're right. They're misguided.
Yeah, even after they're proven wrong, and the person they're defending admits that they murdered someone.
It's just like in real life, where people just are misinformed a lot of the time.
It's also like real life where people have their first impression of what they think the answer is, and then they never change their opinion.
They just stick to their guns.
They stick to it forever, even when the person just admits what they did. Yep.
Just stick to your guns.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Hey. What exactly are you two doing here? It's a crime scene.
What do you think we're doing here, idiot?
It's already happened twice.
Well, we're on this case too, pal.
Hey, you can't just go around saying pal like that. That's my endearing character trait.
I'd say he's a character, all right. Maya's cute. I like her.
What a face.
That is like defining of his personality.
Yeah.
That face.
That summarizes the entirety of who he is as a person. I can't go this way.
Apparently down there slightly is a better.
Yeah. Detective Gumshoe, what's down the path to the left? Looks like a tree fell down over the path. Oh yeah. That way's kind of dangerous. You should stay out, pal.
Of course.
There's nothing down there anyway.
We saw a whole building.
That's where Studio 2 used to be, they tell me. What, did it disappear? Was there a void out there? They don't use it now, though. Hi! The studio mascot.
He's creepy.
I guess it's a monkey of some kind.
He's got big ears I see on the side. Oh, it's like a proboscis monkey.
Oh, you're right. The nose.
Yeah.
I was like, how did you get that?
Oh, and he's holding the sign with his tail.
Oh, yeah.
Proboscis.
What kind of monkey has a nose like that? He's holding a sign in his hand. Right, Studio 1. Left, Studio 2.
What's up with that thing? It looks kind of busted.
Kind of busted.
And its face is kind of busted.
Bad,
you know what I mean?
A bad case of head fall off.
He looks whack as fuck.
Oh, the wind was pretty strong yesterday, and the head broke off. That wind was so strong and broke the head off the thing that's presumably been there for years.
That's also not secure if the wind could take his head off.
But it's apparently like
I could have killed someone, you guys.
It's apparently wind that's not just bad, but like bad on a scale that of potentially like years of like it's the worst wind ever. It just took that thing out. That's somehow going to factor into the case.
Someone could have died, you guys.
The wind blew the spear into him. like all those tornado stories you hear.
Someone left the window open.
Where a 2x4 becomes a javelin. That's usually what like the guy says in the dramatic like documentary footage.
I've never watched that, but I like it.